Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. Nancy Mace is awesome, and she got confronted by this liberal lunatic. It looks like a Walgreens. I'm not sure what store it was, but she's in a retail store shopping, and this liberal lunatic started harassing her. And she's all by herself, so Nancy Mace whipped out her cell phone and started recording this liberal loon. And now this, there's an article about this in Mediaite I'm going to share with you, but Mediaite's very left-wing, okay? So I'll apologize in advance for the phrasing, but this is how they... F you, Nancy Mace posts wild video in which she berates a constituent confronting her for not holding a town hall. It's a very liberal headline. She is a sitting member of the United States Congress, plus she's a woman alone in a store. And this man starts harassing and confronting her. You don't harass and confront women, and you don't harass and start arguing with a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives when they're all alone out in a retail store. You could be polite to them, but you don't start getting confrontational, okay? And she had good reason to be very nervous with this lunatic who was wearing just some strange... She said he was, the way she described it, this is how Nancy Mace describes it. Some unhinged lunatic, a man wearing Daisy Dukes at a makeup store, got in my face today. Dims are nuts. So I went off, and I won't be backing down. I hold the line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Try me. That's what Nancy Mace wrote on X. Let me read you this article in this left-wing Mediaite about this, though. On Saturday, so this happened just yesterday, Representative Nancy Mace, Republican from South Carolina, posted a video to her social media accounts showing a heated encounter with a constituent who asked her about holding a town hall meeting in her district, which resulted in her yelling, F you. In the video, which was uploaded to both X and Instagram, Nancy Mace argued with a man in what appears to be a retail store. Nancy Mace says it's a makeup store. I guess so. It looks like a Walgreens, but I've never been in a makeup store, but I guess it's that. The man asked Mace if she planned to hold a town hall this year. Mace responded by saying she holds them annually and claimed to have already hosted one this year. So here's the exchange. Listen. Now, good. You know, when people start making a video of anything, because this video is from Nancy Mace's camera, her cell phone, the initial confrontation, the initial event has already happened. So people start recording after there's been an explosion of some kind. So you always miss the beginning. But this is the exchange between Nancy Mace and this liberal lunatic wearing the Daisy Duke shorts.
I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep going?
Do you want
to keep going and keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year.
I asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town
I've already done one. I'll do plenty more.
Any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. Well,
And by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do with
So
me?
I'm just...
Okay, now this is when the guy gets really upset because he didn't identify himself as gay, but he's obviously gay. And when she says, I voted for gay marriage twice, he's like pissed that she knows he's gay, right? Which is really funny when you think about it. Like, why would that piss him off?
I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep going?
Do
you want to keep going and keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year.
I asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town
I've already done one. I'll do plenty more.
Any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. Well,
And by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do
So
with me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
You think everything about me has to do with gay marriage?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you
Yep.
speak with me?
Absolutely.
There's no other humane
If you want to get in my
conversation you
face
can
about
have
town
me.
halls, you should have shown up
There's
to
no
one
other
last
humane
year.
thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
That's the
because you're
only thing
getting
you
in
have
my
to
face
say.
about a town hall. You
Oh,
could have
just
gone
asking one
last year.
simple question from right
Would you
over
like
here
me?
is if you have any plans to have more town halls this year.
I have town
That was
halls
one
every year.
question.
I have over a dozen every year.
Great. That was my entire question. You didn't have to go
Yeah.
into the spiel about
You could
everything
have.
else
You
want.
could have.
You notice he never once calls her congresswoman. I mean, have you ever met I've met congressmen. You always call them congressmen, congresswomen, out of respect. You don't, talk like this lunatic.
main thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
That's
because you're getting in my face about a town hall. You could have gone last year. Would you like me?
If you have any plans to have more town halls this year?
I have town halls every year. I have over a dozen every year.
Great, that was my entire question. You didn't have to go into the spiel at all.
You could have come to any of them last year.
Okay. And
I had over a
this year, not
dozen.
2024.
Where were you the year before that? Or the year before that?
It was a simple
Oh,
question.
because you know what?
If you
Because
have
you
any more that
people
you're
on the
going to
left
this year
are
or not.
crazy.
So I'm
You're
on the left.
absolutely fucking crazy.
I'm absolutely fucking crazy.
You are. And get out of my face.
You're insane.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
Fuck you.
You're gonna fuck me? You're
Yep.
gonna be voted
Bye.
out so fast this year. I
I'm
can't
not.
wait for you to fucking
I'm not.
go into
I won
the
by
dirt.
so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I asked you a simple question, and you just to go on this tirade and tell me "fuck you."
Yeah, fuck you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face.
Fuck you.
Get out of my face.
Who says that to a woman in a store? This, and a member of Congress. He's dropping F-bombs.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
Fuck you.
You're gonna fuck me? You're
Yep.
gonna be voted
Bye.
out so fast this year. I
I'm
can't
not.
wait for you to fucking
I'm
go
not.
into
I
the
won
dirt.
by so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I asked you a simple question, and you just to go on this tirade and tell me "fuck you."
Yeah, fuck you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face.
Fuck you.
Get out of my face. Try it again. What's your name?
Nasty bitch.
What's your
You're a
name?
nasty bitch. That's
What's
my
your
name?
name?
You say "fuck me"?
Yep, I
That's
sure
the
did.
first thing you're saying is "fuck me" for asking you a
Absolutely.
question?
Get the fuck out of my face.
Fuck you.
Now.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You couldn't take me on, baby. Stay the fuck away from me.
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. I love that. I love that. That's a good one. She was right to act that way because she's by herself. He's very confrontational. She's a sitting member of Congress, and she's a woman by herself. The way she behaved was appropriate. She could have that guy probably detained for behaving that way to a sitting member of Congress. I find that quite threatening towards her, don't you? I do. I mean, I would, if there was some, sadly, there's a Democrat that represents my district. Oh my God, disgusting. If I saw him at the store, I'd call him congressman and I wouldn't be nasty. This guy was so triggered. Oh my goodness, I love it. I think she acted perfectly to get him the heck away from her. And he took a picture of her with his phone that's online. She's wearing jeans and high heels. No, you don't want to mess with her. Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, is MAGA. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Chris Van Hollen, I was talking this morning, this lunatic Democrat senator from Maryland who flew down to El Salvador to meet with a terrorist and have margaritas with a terrorist. Yeah, he may have violated the Logan Act. He could be facing criminal charges. That's what they went after General Flynn on, was the Logan Act. So he went on Fox News Sunday today and talked about who paid for his trip to El Salvador. Listen.
Who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared, congressional trip, cleared
So
on a
taxpayer
bipartisan
dollars.
basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Wow, taxpayers paid for him to go down there and meet with a terrorist? Wow. He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. I mean, I don't see members of the House or the Senate flying off to meet with Americans held in Iran illegally or North Korea, but they'll go and do this. Exactly. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. But that was Nancy Mace held her own, and she did a real good job there. I mean, who confronts members of Congress, in particular a woman like that, a lunatic? Anybody who confronts a member of Congress like that, male or female, is a dangerous person. But he was so triggered just at the sight of her that he was quivering. He was like shaking. Who asked for accountability for you don't ask for accountability from your congresswoman or congressman being confrontational on a Saturday afternoon while they're in a retail store shopping. right? You just don't do that. It's not appropriate, especially when they're by themselves. She's by herself, and that could be that's a threatening thing to do. Very threatening, you know. And I think she handled herself very, very well. Yeah. You just don't confront people like that. It's scary for them. That's just the way it is. Yeah. You know, if all Republicans stood up like her, that would be awesome. So here is Chris Van Hollen. He was on with Dana Bash. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Well, he can't be nice. He's an intolerant liberal. This is Chris Van Hollen. He's on with Dana Bash.
Social media, what they should be doing in the courts. They need to put up or shut up in the courts. Let me tell you, and I decided to write this down so I could be absolutely accurate as to what Federal District Court Judge Zinnes said about these allegations by the Trump administration. Quote, "No evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity has been presented to the court." That's where to litigate this. It's been litigated in many other places. So I'm not going to get into the details because the whole purpose of our court system is for them to adjudicate these things, not for Donald Trump to go off on social media.
Okay. Now, he has been gotten his due process in 2 federal immigration courts. Both of the judges said he was MS-13.
Around 95.
And now, because President Trump, through executive order, declared that MS-13 is a terrorist organization, he doesn't even have an argument in criminal courts anymore. He's a member of a terrorist organization, but there's all kinds of evidence, right? He was arrested in that Home Depot parking lot with other MS-13s. Who hangs out in parking lots with MS-13 members? Other MS-13 members. They had a confidential informant inside MS-13 who told the police that he's MS-13. And the 2 federal immigration judges determined he was MS-13. Then it came Van Hollen, who was nice enough to expose this for us, with his Margarita Summit at the resort in El Salvador. We've got the MS-13 tattoos on Garcia's fingers, which is the equivalent of a confession that he's an MS-13. So they can run around all day, every day, and say there's no evidence. There's all kinds of evidence, including the tattoo on his fingers, which is a confession that he's MS-13. So, I mean, how long is this going to go on? It's a bit much, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's frustrating because they keep saying, "Oh, there's no evidence." You give them the evidence, and they ignore the evidence. So here's an extended version. This is this idiot Van Hollen with Dana Bash. Dana Bash always looks pissed off, doesn't she?
Now, President Trump says that some of Abrego Garcia's tattoos signify that he's a member of MS-13.
That's right.
In 2019, police alleged a confidential informant claimed that Abrego Garcia was an active MS-13 member. His wife and his attorney deny that, of course. Can you say with absolute certainty that he is not, nor has he ever been a member of the MS-13 gang? And did you ask him point blank?
Well, Dana, what Donald Trump is trying to do here is change the subject. The subject at hand is that he and his administration are defying a court order to...
Now, that's total bullshit, okay? Notice he just totally dodged that question. Now, he may go on and lie in a minute, but his immediate reaction was to divert. She said, "Do you have evidence that he's not MS-13? Did you ask him?" And he's diverted right away from that. Let me rewind it. Listen. Which means that Van Hollen knows that he's MS-13.
Tattoos signify that he's a member of MS-13. In 2019, police alleged a confidential informant claimed that Abrego Garcia was an active MS-13 member. His wife and his attorney deny that, of course. Can you say with absolute certainty that he is not, nor has he ever been a member of the MS-13 gang? And did you ask him point blank?
Well, Well, Dana, what
See?
Donald Trump is trying to do here is change the subject.
See? He just totally diverted away from that.
The subject at hand is that he and his administration are defying a court order to give Abrego Garcia his due process rights. They are trying to litigate on social media what they should be doing in the courts. They need to put up or shut up in the courts.
Now, they don't have to go to the courts. Screw the courts, okay? The courts aren't a bunch of presidents by committee. But notice, look how, now he's going to lie and say there's no evidence of it, but it's taken him a long time to get there. And the way that Van Hollen is behaving with that question, to me, is an acknowledgement that he knows he's MS-13.
Let me tell you, and I decided to write this down so I could be absolutely accurate as to what Federal District Court Judge Zinnes said about these allegations by the Trump administration. Quote, no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity has been presented to the court. That's where to litigate this. It's been.
No, there's no litigation. He's a member of a terrorist organization, MS-13. 2 federal immigration judges said he was. They had all kinds of evidence.
Litigated in many other places. So I'm not going to get into the details because the whole purpose of our court system.
Exactly, because the details aren't on Van Hollen's side.
Is for them to adjudicate these things, not for
You're
Donald
right.
Trump to go off on social media.
Yeah, you're right. They have not, there hasn't been a court hearing for them to put forward evidence in the first place, which
Because that's already been done.
is your whole point. But since you were the one person to have met with him, and since this is a thing, you say on social media, it's what we hear from Donald Trump and Republicans every day, all day long, you didn't ask him?
I didn't ask him that because I know what his answer is.
He didn't ask him, are you MS-13? Now, because his answer would be he would lie and say no. What a jerk. This is Van Hollen. What a, he sounds as bad as Schiff, doesn't he?
A thing, you say on social media, it's what we hear from Donald Trump and Republicans every day, all day long, you didn't ask him?
I didn't ask him that because I know what his answer is. What he told me was he was sad and traumatized that he was being in prison because he has committed no crimes. And that goes to the heart of this issue because he's being denied his due process rights. And Donald Trump is trying to change the subject. And, you know, when people start asking that question, in my view, they're falling into the president's trap because what the president wants to do is talk about that as if we can't all fight gang violence, which I've been doing for much longer than Donald Trump, right? His argument is you can't fight that and at the same time uphold people's constitutional rights. That's a very dangerous view. And if we deny the constitutional rights of this one man, it threatens the constitutional rights of everybody in America.
Okay. He's gotten his due process. He went through the entire immigration court system, and he's a member of a terrorist organization. You don't keep going to court forever and ever and ever, okay? He's had his day in court more than once. Now, before I move on to the next topic, I want to tell you Mike Lindell has his new energy drink, Rev 7. That's right, and it comes in 3 flavors. Now, this is a 3-can introductory pack that you can actually get for free with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. These are the 3 flavors, lemonade, green apple, and this is blueberry citrus. So you can get this introductory pack for free at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane. Try them out and find out what your favorite flavor is, and then you can order a case. They have no sugar and no caffeine, so you don't get the crashes and you don't get the jitters. How many calories? I don't know. 25 calories. It says here, 25 calories. 0 grams of fat. 1 gram total carbohydrate, 0 grams of sugar. Pretty good, huh? Absolutely. Now, I'm a green apple guy and lemonade guy, but I love green apple. Even, you know, anything green apple Jolly Ranchers, I love those too. But yeah, you can get these for free. Go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Kane at checkout and get yours, okay, for free. Good deal, and they taste great. So I wanted to tell you, I watched a movie today, which was a political movie, and they pulled something at the end, some left-wing liberal Hollywood bullshit that just pissed me off. There's a movie with Jude Law that came out a few months ago, and it's available on Hulu. And I watched it this morning. It's called The Order. And the reason I watched it is it's a true story. The Order was a white supremacist organization that was wanted to have a revolution that take over the country. They were so radical they left the Aryan Nation. They were more radical than the Aryan Nation. And what they're most well known for is they assassinated a radio talk show host who was a Jew. His name was Alan Berg, B-E-R-G. And there's been 2 movies made about the Order and the assassination of Alan Berg. One of them is Talk Radio. You ever see Talk Radio with Eric Bogosian? And Alec Baldwin's in that. That is about the assassination by the order of Alan Berg. No, there's no artificial sugars either, by the way, guys. You'll see, I'm looking on the back, no artificial sugars. There was also another movie with Deborah Winger and Tom Berenger called Betrayed. But this movie, because the guy Alan Berg that was murdered by the order, Steve Kane was on 60 Minutes back in the 80s, and it was about radio talk shows in America, and they focused on 3 radio hosts, Steve Kane, Howard Stern, and Alan Berg, before Alan Berg was murdered by the order. And he took live calls like I do, and so I watched the movie because I know the story, and there's a book that they based talk radio on. There's a book about the assassination of Alan Berg by the order. It's called Talk to Death. It's a good title, Talk to Death. And I don't have that book anymore, but unless it's in a box somewhere. I read that book years ago. So it's something I've been interested in. So I watched the movie. It stars Jude Law, and it's called The Order. And there we are. We're back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just lost my connection. Are we back? Okay, we're back. Let me double check. Hold on. All right, are we back? Test 1, 2. All right, are we back? Yeah, we're back. Okay, good. So anyway, the movie, based on everything I've read over the years on the case, is very accurate, and it was really interesting. The order, but they pulled something at the end that pissed me the freak off about this movie. So I'm just giving you some background, so when I tell you what they pulled at the end, you'll understand how bad it is. If you've ever seen Talk Radio with Eric Bogosian, he talks about this. The order, again, like I said, they were so radical, the Aryan Nation got rid of them. And they did more than just assassinate this radio host, Alan Berg. One of them used to call him on the air. And they played some clips of him talking to them. And it was a little frightening for me because the way he was talking to these guys is the way I talk to callers a lot when people call me, giving me a hard time or disagreeing with me. But they based their entire organization on this white supremacist novel called The Turner Diaries. Many of you probably heard of The Turner Diaries. And The Turner Diaries was about the white supremacist takeover of America in 6 steps. I believe it was 6 steps, if I remember correctly. And they go through the movie how this organization is going through these steps to have a race revolution in the country. Now, they did more than just kill Alan Berg. They robbed banks, they robbed armored cars, and they counterfeited money too. So these were really bad guys. And when they robbed banks and armored cars, and they assassinated Alan Berg, they were using machine guns, fully automatic machine guns, doing this. So anyway, the movie was very good, and I was like, wow, it's pretty accurate, because I read up on this a lot, and although not for years, so and then at the end of the movie, it fades to black, and then they give you updates on what happened to the people involved and all this stuff. And they talk a little bit about getting these people from the order and how many years it took. And then they talk a little bit about the Turner Diaries, this racist book, I mean hardcore racist book, the Turner Diaries. If you're not familiar with it, Google it. And it said the Turner Diaries was the inspiration for those behind the Oklahoma City Governmental Center bombing, which happened on April 19th. What was it, 95? Was it 95, Oklahoma City? And was also the inspiration for the January 6th insurrectionist. It said it right there in the end on the screen. And was the inspiration for the January 6th insurrectionist. And it just pissed me the freak off. It's pissed me off. The movie was so good and very interesting, and then they throw that liberal Hollywood crap at the end. Which, you know, when they throw something in that is so inaccurate, and you got to question everything they say. It just pissed me off that they would compare MAGA, because that's what they were doing, to followers of the Turner Diaries and the Order and the Aryan Nation. It just pissed me off, man. And I'll never watch that movie again. You know, and I was going to recommend that movie. I'll talk to Steve about this tomorrow because he's followed Alan Berg, but I was going to recommend that movie to Steve and other people. I'm not going to recommend it anymore. If I would have known that was in the end credits, I wouldn't have watched it. That's really, really, truly offensive. And they did some foreshadowing because they were showing these racists reading the Turner Diaries, and they showed these gallows, and that's the kind, you know, it was, I couldn't believe. It was really bad that they did that. It was really bad. They're, you know, Hollywood is filled with weirdos and perverts and just liberal jerks who project all their crap onto conservatives all the time. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, if you want to watch the movie's good, and it tells an important story, but doing that at the end, it was a little much. Okay, now Van Hollen, he went on Meet the Press, okay, today. This is Chris Van Hollen on Meet the Press.
I'm not sure why Abrego Garcia's rights should be denied.
Because he's a member of a terrorist organization. That's why.
I'm not sure why Abrego Garcia's rights should be denied based on an awful murder that he had absolutely nothing to do with.
Oh my goodness. No, he's a member of a terrorist organization. Okay? I mean, that's it. That's it. Terrorists don't go through the criminal justice system. It's a whole nother system. No, terrorists don't go through the regular court system. Mm-hmm. No, not terrorist. Mm-mm. Nope. It's a whole nother thing. Now, here's Tom Homan on ABC This Week today talking about this idiot senator going down to El Salvador.
What bothers me more than that is a U.S. senator traveled El Salvador on taxpayer dime to meet with an MS-13 gang member, public safety threat, terrorist. I mean, in the meantime, the day before he traveled, an illegal alien was arrested for murder, were released to the streets rather than honoring an ICE detainer in his very own state. What concerns me is Van Hollen never went to the border the last 4 years on Joe Biden when he had a 600% increase in sex trafficking in women and children. You have a record number of no-inspected terrorists crossing that border. You had 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl overdose because of the open border. Mm-hmm. You had over 4,000 illegal aliens died making that journey, which is a historic record. What shocks me is he's remained silent on the travesty that happened on our southern border. Many people died. Thousands of people died. I've met with hundreds of angel moms and dads who buried their children that were murdered by an illegal alien. How many angel moms and dads has he met in the state of Maryland?
Yeah, you know, this Morin tragedy, the reason they keep pointing out to her is because she is a Maryland girl who was raped and murdered by one of the Biden, Kamala Harris, Democrat dreamers. And Van Hollen didn't go and visit her family, her kids, her mother, her husband, but he went down to meet this member of a terrorist organization. That's why it is very, very important. It is. I'm sorry. Van Hollen is just a monster. Okay, now here he is. This is Van Hollen talking about Garcia. This is also on ABC This Week. Listen to this lunatic.
I think at some point the president of El Salvador realized it was looking really bad to have this person who'd been...
This American? He's a Central American, not a United States of American. He's not an American, Garcia, okay? He's an El Salvador national. He was in, because he's back in his home country now, he was in the United States illegally, and he's a member of a terrorist organization. Now, Van Hollen slipped and called him an American?
I think at some point the president of El Salvador realized it was looking really bad to have this person who'd been absconded from America, from the streets of Maryland, in one of their prisons.
Wow. Wow. Someone's spinning out their tires down the street. Oh my goodness. I hope they're in control of that car. No, terrorists don't go through the regular court system. You know, if you're a member of a terrorist organization, even a U.S. citizen, and you're a member of like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, you can be picked up anywhere and sent off to a CIA black site in Bulgaria, and it's totally legal. That's right. Yeah. So here is Tom Emmer. He's the Republican from Minnesota. He's the Republican majority whip, and he's on with Dana Bash on CNN.
Actually, if you look at this, it's very interesting when people talk about the fact that this illegal alien, who is not a resident of the U.S., he is a citizen of El Salvador.
That's right.
Actually did have due process in an asylum hearing where his request for asylum was rejected.
That's right.
The Trump administration, as part of the promise that they made during the campaign, President Trump made it very clear. I'm going to get rid of the gang members, the murderers, the rapists, the terrorists, and this is part of that process in keeping that campaign promise. And
yeah, there you go. Boom. So there he got his due process, and the court denied him staying here. That's it. I mean, how much more do you need? That's exactly right. The due process has got to end at some point. You don't just keep going around in circles and until there's a new president in, and then hope that they'll let you stay, which is really what they're wanting to do. Yeah, now if you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. And tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel here, our MAGA Cruise video is going to debut with a live chat. You won't want to miss that. And don't forget, this is the introductory 3-pack of Mike Lindell's new energy drink. If you go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Kane, you can get this 3-pack for free. It's just a sample of each flavor, and you can decide which one you like. We've got lemonade, green apple, and this is blueberry citrus. There's no sugar, and there's no caffeine, so you don't get the crashes, and you don't get the jitters. I'm a green apple person, followed by lemonade, but I really love green apple. I tell you, if I could buy a bag of just green apple Jolly Ranchers, I would buy that every day, but they don't sell them. I got to pick through to get. I love green apple. That's just me. But maybe you like lemonade. I like lemonade too. I like blueberry city. They're all good, and you can get this 3-pack for free at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout. And remember, anytime you use my promo code Kane at MyPillow, which you can use on all the specials there, you are supporting all of my content at the same time. So promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Oh, yeah. Green apple Jolly Ranchers are crazy good. I love them. I could eat those all freaking day. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, 7 p.m. Eastern, our MAGA Cruise video debuts right here on my channel with a live chat. I'll see you then.